Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Say his name and he appears. The man is here once again on YouTube. Are you ready? What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we're here late this Tuesday night to try to start catching up for a live review. And I do want to double check my connection really quick, as it looks like it is lagging a little bit whenever it was getting started here. So I just want to make sure we are just, still in tip-top shape. Might not be the best yet, but let me see here. Watch video on YouTube. Configuring there. It looks like it's just getting the kinks out, but I think we should still be okay. It looks like cool. All right, we're all good though. But again, guys, are you ready? What is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 once again. This is my live review of this past weekend's special WWE's Saturday Night's main event of the November 1st, 2025 edition took place at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. We're going to talk about, of course, the 2-hour special that I thought was very well executed. Of the few Saturday Night's main events so far, this was definitely probably the one that was the best executed. Probably because they're exclusively, Saturday Night's main events exclusively now on Peacock right now. And also, what was very nice to have, no ads during the matches, which also I thought really helped with the execution of the show. And also, again, just the fact that they left it at 4 matches for the show. And honestly, that's how it should be for these 2-hour specials for Saturday Night's main event. When they did 5, it felt like, again, it was just a little bit too much. And because of that, I felt the show just felt a little bit rushed, in my opinion. This one, although a questionable decision, of course, was made in that opening match, which, of course, we will talk about it. I do have hope that it's just stalling a little bit longer for the meaningful moment, but I'm not 100%, positive it could be doing that. So I have my concerns. I wasn't happy at first with how the results, but then I thought, could be this. We'll see where it goes. But overall, still an outstanding show for Saturday Night's main event. Like I said, the matches were fun. Not a bad match. Again, just one decision that was made that I questioned it. And overall, again, one of the best executed ones so far. I knew once that they ironed out, the kinks, they would get these little specials like kind of going. Like I said, I think if you keep it at 4 matches, and maybe throw in like a segment or something like that, like we had on this one with the answer to what's going to happen for John Cena's last opponent at next month's edition of Saturday Night's main event, which will be John Cena's final match on December 13th in Washington, D.C. Still wish that would have been in Boston, but they changed. Who the heck knows? Oh, also the note here that this did not sell out. That's right, this, and then SmackDown's attendance the night before at the Delta Center was apparently horrible. And it's probably because of these ticket prices that they continue to increase. I have no idea because of these ticket prices, when's the next time I'm going to be able to go to a WWE event? Again, next time AEW comes to town, I may have to go to it, because I do miss going to wrestling events. I don't think I've gone to one. Well, I think I went to SmackDown. Yeah, I went to the SmackDown a couple weeks after WrestleMania in 2024. I think that's the last one I was at. So, I'm going to have to give myself an AEW ticket just so I can, go have fun and experience some wrestling next time they come to town. But we're still going to talk about the show again. It was still a well-done show. Not too much storyline advancement, really, but, just some small stuff, and just overall, again, fun. Like I said, I gave it the grade I did because not only was it a fun show, but again, it was executed well, with no ads during the commercials and everything. And again, 4 matches, got the times it needed, and it was great. Lilian Garcia was the ring announcer as well in the show. Also, congratulations to her as she got engaged recently. She had her podcast recently with Chris Van Vliet, where she mentioned how she really kind of started over a little bit after she left the company in 2016 and took care of her sick father. And I can't remember if her mother died during that time too, but I remember she went on quite a journey refinding herself during that time. And she ended up, divorcing her husband at the time, and now she is getting remarried. So definitely congratulations to Lilian, for sure. Again, right now she is only appearing as the special guest ring announcer for Saturday night's main event and doing other stuff behind the scenes WWE, outside of that. And of course, filling in, for a ring announcer when need be, occasionally as well. But to talk about the 4 matches. So the card opened up, surprisingly, I thought this would main event the show, but it opened up with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. Match was definitely better than their WrestlePalooza match. Of course, it had the stipulation, though, where Drew McIntyre can win the title by disqualification or countout. Now, I said in my SmackDown review, I'm not sure how I felt about that, because again, my pick to win was Drew. Drew, I just feel like, at this point, again, just needs to win that world title. Cody doesn't need the title. Drew has done some of the best work of his career for the past 2 years, especially his feud with Punk last year. And also, once again, they really had to work on... They really had to really convince him to re-sign last year. He was almost gone. And the fact, though, that he's done the work he has done in the main event scene since, and he still hasn't become a world champion, honestly, just... It kind of baffles me. I'm not going to lie. I'm just, stunned that they haven't put the world title on him. They were supposed to apparently WrestlePalooza, but then they had the whole panic about Crown Jewel, which Seth and Cody was definitely the better match at the time, yes. But still, again, Cody does not need the title right now. But the match had some teases of Drew trying to get Cody a little bit mad. Not as hardcore as some of the other ones we've dealt with for this type of match, but it still, played its role the best it could. Of course, they tried using, the championship as a weapon. And Cody Rhodes, though, does beat Drew McIntyre. I don't like that, but what I will say is he did beat Drew by DDTing him on top of the championship. So, Drew can come out on SmackDown on Friday and say that Cody cheated to beat me. I want one more shot. I'm pretty sure that's going to lead to a stipulation, but what that would be, again, I have no idea. I would definitely not say something like Hell in a Cell or something like that, but I don't know, something, to complement what Cody Rhodes has been doing. Because again, I don't want this stuff with Cody Rhodes and him all of a sudden attacking Drew with the title to get out of a match or using the championship to win to kind of just kind of go to waste. Let it actually lead to something. And I keep forgetting to post this on Instagram, but it's why I'm feeling they should go with him to be one of the people as possibility who may have attacked Jacob Fatu. But I'm not completely convinced that they're going to go that route either with it. But Cody does retain. And I'm hoping they will give Drew one last shot at Survivor Series. What the stipulation would be, though, to try to, prevent things from happening again, I don't know. But But yeah, because at first I was mad, but then I thought, well, they protected Drew. Cody did cheat. There's going to be something to, lead to one more match. And what that's going to be, I have no idea. But something that way the referees can always pay attention or something, I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see what exactly they do. I quit, maybe they could do, or submission match. I don't know. I'm not sure what the stipulation would be. I'm still thinking about that right now before I do my card predictions for Survivor Series. But that match opened the show, and again, Cody retained. The second match was for the Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, the newly heel Jade Cargill in WWE. This was, for the most part, a complete squash. Jade absolutely dominated Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany kind of got a little bit of offense in the show, a little bit of hope, but nope, it was over the moment the bell rang. And again, this is the booking how Jade Cargill should be getting. She definitely, of course, also attacked the injured knee of Tiffany Stratton when she had turned heel the other week. That was kind of the psychology to try to help Tiffany in this loss. But basically, Jade just dominated her, and she wins the women's world title for the first time. Just the women's title, not the women's world title. So, yes, I thought this was going to happen, and I like it. Again, I know Jade is still trying to prove herself, but I think she's going to go a lot more mileage as a heel. So her being the heel champion that she's going to be right now is definitely interesting. I know a lot of people are continuing to give Tiffany Stratton crap about her title reign. And as I keep saying again, it's not her fault. The SmackDown women's roster literally has absolutely nobody. So who else did she really have to fight during this time? I'll even have to say anything about Jade Cargill. Who's around that Jade can fight right now? I'm just saying, she's not going to have many fresh opponents until, either some NXT call-ups happen, another, transfer window, or another shakeup, whatever they want to call it, happens. Either that, or there are some rumors of some NXT call-ups as well, too, which I still think someone like a Lola Vice or Jordan Grace, even a Jada Parker could be ready to be called up very, very soon. There's some fresh names right there for Jade Cargill. So, eventually, it's probably going to lead to Jade versus Bianca at WrestleMania. They could do Jade and Charlotte, yes, but I think the match I'm more interested in, of course, is Jade and Bianca. So, that match will be happening then. Congratulations on Jade Cargill winning her first WWE Women's Championship, and hopefully she does continue to improve, for sure. Match number 3 was the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Dirty Dominik Mysterio, the champion, defended against Penta, Cero Miedo, and Rusev in a triple threat match. Match was great, again, as always. Again, though, just the awkward dynamic, though, of, Penta was the clear babyface of this match. Rusev is still kind of in between tweener. I'm not sure where exactly they're going with it, but then again, there's Dominik Mysterio, who is just, again, that good as a heel, but yet the crowd is, not booing him as much because they love how talented he is. And that's, of course, going to be a problem heading forward because, do we really roll with Dom as a babyface? I mentioned my ideas of, his booking when they split up Judgment Day. Like I said, either have him basically pull an MJF in a circle and have him be the one to quietly form his own stable, which is why I think they could be doing with Los Americanos. Or, like I said, too, if you want him to go face, you can have something happen where Liv comes back, Dom picks Roxanne over Liv dumps Dom, but then Roxanne reveals the whole time it was just a setup that Finn Balor recruited her to basically, set Dom up to be blindsided when he least expects it. And basically have Dom back to basically nothing, and that's when, of course, he tries to earn back the love and trust of his father or whatnot, something like that. But the match happens, and Rusev thought he had the match won because he had Penta in the Accolade, but Dominik Mysterio, who's been using that hammer for the bell lately, goes over and rings the bell with the hammer. And obviously, when Rusev realized he didn't actually win the match and that Dom did that, he snapped and he chased after Dom, trying to attack him. But instead, chaos happened. And then when the referee was not looking, Dom used the hammer on Rusev, and he got Penta out of there. And basically, Dom just stole the victory right there with his tactics again, pulling some Eddie maneuvers. And Dominik Mysterio again retains the Intercontinental Championship. Based off what happened on Raw last night, which I'll probably try to review Raw tomorrow or Thursday. Again, I'm not sure what next for Dominik. I really thought he was going to be, well, I'm still putting on my card because I don't know what else he's going to do if he doesn't. But I still think he is going to fight John Cena at Survivor Series. However, could it be somebody else? We'll have to wait out and find out. Speaking of John Cena, he had a vignette package talking about how, people have been asking him since he first announced his retirement tour, who does he want to face in his final match? The answer, of course, is the same as it always been, is you want some, come get some. So he's hosting a 16 single elimination tournament where the winner of the tournament gets to fight John Cena in his last match. Superstars from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, even a few he said that may not work for the company could be involved. And they start next week. On Raw, they announced, I believe it is Damian Priest versus Rusev and Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura in the first round match for all of them. I do like this idea. My only worry is they did show in a video package Gunther was in there. I know Gunther has been the rumored final opponent for John Cena. I'm not into that being John Cena's last match. Gunther doesn't need it. He is well established. I still want it to be, and this is my opinion, there's 3 people I would love for it to be. Either LA Knight, Joe Hendry, or, again, because I know his contract with AEW was supposed to expire at the beginning of October, and he's taking a break, and maybe it's for this, but I still would love it if they would give us John Cena versus Edge one more time, which would be absolutely bonkers for sure. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to start off with just some normal names, and then you'll get a little more surprises with some other people involved as well. And of course, we will see, of course, who ends up being John Cena's final opponent. Again, hopefully it's either LA Knight, Joe Hendry, or Edge is who I'm hoping for. But we shall see. We shall see. And then the closing match of the show for the vacated World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus Jey Uso. Thought it was a fantastic match. My match of the night, personally. I thought both men worked very well here. Had a very competitive looking match, especially the last couple of minutes where we did this thing where Punk went to go for the GTS on Jey. He hits him, but Jey just bounces back on the ropes and gets back up on his shoulders. But then Jey comes to life and escapes out of the trap, which I thought was very well done as well. The last 5 minutes, there was some very crazy near falls as well that we were convinced they had, but not quite. Both men, I thought, went out there and did a hell of a job. But even though, of course, it took a couple of F5s to do it, CM Punk does defeat Jey Uso with a GTS on Jey. And I think he hit on Jey, and then Jey bounced off the ropes and went back on his shoulder. He did the first time, but when it didn't work. But now he did it the second time, and he hit it off. And CM Punk is now, I believe, a 8 or 9 time world champion now. I can't remember. He had the first cash in, then the second cash in. Jeff Hardy beat him for the title, then he won it right back. There was in 2011 where he won the title at Money in the Bank, relinquished it, won it back at SummerSlam, but then Alberto Del Rio cashed in. He would eventually win it back. I'm thinking 9. Is he a 9-time now world champion? Correct me if I'm wrong, of course, on that, but I figured Punk was going to win. Interesting stuff that Jey hasn't gone on full heel yet, but I still think he's covering that up and saving that for Survivor Series, because he also posted on his Instagram story, you can tell I'm starting to get tired here, that he said, you win and gave us the middle finger. So again, I'm still thinking he's going to be involved in that Survivor Series, and that is where Jay does turn heel on everyone in his group. Just saying. But yeah, nothing else really to say. Again, the live chat must not have been working, but it's totally fine. But I gave Saturday's main event for this episode a B+. Again, some of the matches were meh. Well, the matches were great. A result like, the opener wasn't the biggest fan of, but they did set something else that they could do one more, so I'm not going to give up quite yet. But again, the overall execution between no ads and whatnot during matches, I thought it worked excellent. So next time we do Saturday night's main event next month, it'll be when we talk about John Cena's last match. And who that'll be, we'll have to wait and see. So guys, bring us thoughts on from Saturday night's main event. Leave your thoughts again down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, The Club of the Man 93. You must follow me on TikTok and on Instagram at The Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!